the Ashe and say, look, we can go towards that Ashe Braum, potentially counter a Leona pick coming from on as well. It's too valuable. They have to go towards that Ashe, but that leaves now the Renekton open for BLG, and Bin will smash that lane if he goes towards that. That is a problem for Shanji.
Don't really know what the answer is going to be either into that. I think not only has Bin got the pass of the blind Renekton, but it has also just been one of the most terrifying things in the LPL. It is going to be locked in here for them, so we'll see what the double combo is. I expect for Wei to have a lot of facilitation between his solo lanes here if we're already going with this style for BLG.
Yeah, so Shanji, he's probably looking towards something like Kasanse to try and survive in that matchup for NIP. The BLG, it's harder for them to lock in something like that Leona now because the Ashe is on the table. Now, some teams would opt to take away the Braum. That does mean that you'd have very little engaged as a team, though, so they might just let the Ashe Braum go over for Photic and Zhuo, and then try and get a non-Leona support fix. That kind of sucks into that duo, if at all possible. The Braum's the easy lock-in, and then what do you go towards after that? Do you go back towards the Brand for Aki? Nope, the Kasanse into that Renekton. It's the easiest of the... It is the lane which loses the most graceful of those top lane matchups of the tanks. However, I will say Bin on this end of the Renekton and the Kasanse matchup is someone I'm very, very scared of. Bin did manage to survive versus Shanji on the losing end of it. Now he's on the winning side. How bad is that top lane going to be?
That's the biggest conversation is, will there just be a floodgate let loose up there? And what the answer is going to be, if that is the case. Hopefully the towns below clear out in time for NIP, but it is into the second phase. We get the bans for Sejuani. So going to take down some of that go button aspect for Aki. Also something they've been very happy to hover over towards, but maybe even some more of this setup focus, especially around the supports for NIP's second ban phase.
Yeah, I think that NIP, maybe you want to ban away, you could ban away Rakan. Rakan's not a bad ban. On is obviously a very good player of that. It gives you engage and also gives you a good laning phase into the Braum. It's going to be the Ezreal as well. Again, another pick which is pretty good at dealing with stuff like the Ashe Braum, so you can outrange the volley. You can kind of play on the edge of the volley range and play with your Qs. And of course, you can put a lot of poke down onto those melee characters as well. I would expect something like a Rel last ban here coming out from NIP as BLG try and ban away the more supportive junglers from Aki.
That's got to be the focus this time around. Maybe they'll end up giving Aki something with a little bit more presence themselves, but still trying to enable Rookie and Photic seemingly works. We can do it right. Now it is the Renata ban last against On, so taking away some of that spacing ability. I did like the Ivern play ban away by BLG, but now we'll see what BLG themselves want to grab here and what we're saving for that final counter pick.
So, BLG, of course, they do play a lot of bot lane Snowball all the same. They keep playing stuff like the Kalista Renata to great effect. They lock in the center, so that's one of that's going to unlock On to pick some different champions. It also allows them to go towards a heavy engage support. Problem is, you go towards the Ornn, that can get blocked out by that Braum shield, so that's not going to be the easiest engage from BLG. It's still going to be fine, though. You can't play that, Photic, or Rookie, of course. You can only play that as well. You can play that as Swarm, but not here on the LPL stage. Then IP look towards some AP damage if possible. Looking towards Aki, maybe going towards that Brand, while Rookie hovers his AD options and goes towards the Yone.
Like this combo with the Braum, though, as well. So, Aki, he's facilitating this game, and honestly, all eyes for me are on Rookie. They're going to have damage from Photic, but he is the Enchanted Crystal Arrow that will bring Rookie to the promised land of a potential 2-0 against BLG. It will end up being an On classic of the Ornn.
So the center Ornn comes through, which is not always the easiest lane versus the Ashe Braum, because if Ornn misuses the E or even the W, you can kind of get pinned down and with the CC of the Braum passive, and then you kind of get chased down by the approach velocity. So eyes on to not have an off game, like in game one. Like we saw that from the Leona. And then also in the team fights later, that Braum shield is going to be so important from NIP. They have the go button of that Maokai, and the Ashe Arrow, very good for them to go forward. I was wondering whether Aki would even take that Maokai in game one, because it's something which he showed a lot of promise on in OMG on 23 from NIP, and see whether that engage becomes a difference maker from NIP. Again, this looks like a draft which feels like it fits the players of NIP. This is something that they have struggled to do. If they have found a way to get their players onto more comfort picks, which they are happier playing, as opposed to conforming to a meta which never really worked for them, that is good news for them. It has come a little late. They're already locked out of players from the Ascension group, but they will have another chance through those Knights rivals. Other side, BLG have themselves a hell of a lot of damage. Not always the easiest to engage, but hey, BLG have made it work with a lot of damage before.
NIP on the verge of doing one of the funniest things here in Summer Split, but it's also BLG, who have not had a clean series since their series against LGD in Week 3. Then they went on to lose against LNG, their only series loss here. Now we expect their bite back, and we'll see just how lethal it can be. All eyes back on Rookie versus Knight in the mid lane. I'm very excited to see what this priority can lean towards for both these two guys as we get into game number 2 of NIP versus BLG. Love to hear it. Ooh.
I think I heard what LGD at the end there. After it, though.
They really want Ben to step up. Oh, they're not on vision yet. They will be spotted out now. Ben in trouble. Oh, the volley doesn't hit. Though Ben, the slowdown. Okay, look at that. The slice of dice level 1, though. And gonna get away from NIP as they moved in for a late invade.
Yeah, it's a fairly long cooldown to level 1, so we can't stick around to do anything more. Yeah, been a little bit greedy going towards that, but then I suppose Braum, if he chooses to set up somewhere on the map at level 1, which he kind of has to, is always going to be a big threat. So, wait, going to be forced away from topside. One of the ways that we saw, it was a really great game. If you want to do your research on this, watch. It was a lost game, but the early game was great. FPX versus JDG, when they played Diana into Diana Braum into the Zyra, did exactly this. Invade one side, stop the plant spawn. Invade into the other side, stop the initial camp spawn. Now we've had Zyra move from both sides of the map and will not get any passive spawns for her first camp of the game. Zyra is going to be massively slowed down. You can't wait there, going through different seeds spawning up. Aki's going to get into the enemy jungle. Great level 1 plan from NIP to slow down the Zyra.
Man, where has this NIP been? I love this kind of stuff. Obviously, it's small, it's little things, but it could lead to paying dividends for both these sides, or at least for NIP, as they are going to try to look to push onto this bot lane here. The Freljordian combo is known to be pretty difficult to deal with, I would say, in that 2v2.
Yeah, particularly the Ornn, you can overstep very, very quickly into huge amounts of CC and damage coming through that as well. Braum's early damage is nasty, so they don't want to be walking up to that as best they can. Elk trying to get as many double taps as possible to get those souls coming up. You can already see just the Ashe Braum, they're standing beyond the wave, not taking minion aggro, using the approach velocity, threatening the concussive blows. It's kind of rough. There's a big reason why, not just in the mid-game combos, but in the laning phase too, Ashe Braum is so, so valued.
And honestly, it might still be reeling from NIP taking a win in game number 1, but that was almost a perfect game in a lot of regards. So we will see NIP spotted out on the bot side play. Rookie, worse for wear in mid lane against Knight, finding a lot more presence here in this 1v1 as well.
Good level. Oh man, he's at 100% false bomb accuracy rate so far. Started level 1 with the Gatling gun as well. Aki is on bot side and it's still level 1. Elk on. They have themselves a cleanse and no heal or barrier. He's pulling the waves away to make sure it crashes a lot easier, but now Elk might have just gotten far enough away.
He does get the cleanse. There's a flash play from Aki. Doesn't really have any follow-up as Photic was actually going on to the minions here. Try to get the wave crash. Elk going to be forced out on, still under turret. There's no help coming. Luckily on the other side, the Wei still being proactive. Going to be taking away the jungle of Aki.
Yeah, so Aki goes into Wei's jungle early on, denies some farm, won't be able to control his own farm though. Good knock up onto Zhuo. The mini-wave is just about alive, so tower aggro doesn't go through. Now suddenly you've got level 2 and level 3, so the dangerous pass from Elkanon, and luckily in this kind of lane is the Ornn that's farming, so the center being away from the tower means much less in that sense. So BLG, they get away with that early side, weak side, and this is a huge improvement for BLG. They've never been good at playing weak side bot lanes. Never been their thing. Pushing towards top side, Bin making a mistake.
Shanji, we were talking about how scary Bin can be in this matchup if he gets ahead. Now Shanji able to fight him back. There was a hover from way up here. Oh, Bin getting a little low. Does have the heal up though as well, and getting some presence from way up here. Finally going to pull off his back.
Yeah, that's huge. Bin didn't even get either of his empowered Qs. He finally gets an empowered Q to get some healing back, but at what cost?
He's baiting him so hard right now. Oh my god, that was incredible stuff from BLG's top side of the map.
That's not an honorable 1v1. That's not a gentleman's 1v1 in the top lane. Bin gets help from the plant lady in the jungle, who has completely ripped through the farm in the way that Zyra does. Even with the slowed start on the Zyra, Wei gets himself onto the board and gets himself a load of farm too. Aki's going to go in for the second spawn of the Wolves. He might actually be in trouble here. See how quickly he can go through this. He doesn't have the smite. There's a chance that Wei gets down here in time, and On does have flash. This is not an easy takeaway. He doesn't have smite. You're going to see that with the plant now. Nice pushed off Rookie.
Rookie. He does have the cleave, does have the shield. Knight has the angle. Flash going to come out of Rookie.
This time, I think Knight's taken the game one personally. Got solo killed a bunch of times by Rookie in game one, but BLG, we asked them to slap back and show us what they're capable of. NIP, somewhat embarrassing them in game one. Knight in this early lane has really helped against the weaker early lanes of the early. Also, Aki not able to steal away those wolves again on the second spawn of them. So he gets himself the assist, gets himself back onto the map with the Fated Ashes as well, so he's going to take off in terms of that jungle clear ability. And BLG, a much better early game, surviving on weak side bot lane, which has never been their specialty, doing a whole lot else in the early game.
Nice little root timing there from Elk as well. Both junglers were kind of foaming at the mouth to try to get that mid lane. Both mid laners being so ridiculously low there. Now we actually take a look back at this one. Okay, yeah, he just took it. He took what was his.
That way, yeah. They're showing that way, smited away the way, which is fine. Good combo again. Eesh, level 3 on the Senate, not the highest in that one, and the Ash Braum doing well to do that, denying summon. I think they just showed that.
Pretty sure he missed
the
that.
cannon minion though, which is great trading. Welcome to CS there, buddy. But yeah, BLG much better in the early game, and Aki now going to be falling behind that matchup to the Zyra. Zyra is just going to pummel through farm at this point. Can go towards the Grubs as well. Uses the W twice over. One of the things you need to know about Zyra taking Grubs as well is that if you kill a lot of those the mites as well, you get a lot of W cooldown. Elk that Q to be safe, but Zyra's very close, very good at taking the Grubs, particularly because of the way that her W refresh happens by killing units.
Really, really nice. I already see pings by NIP down towards this dragon. They did have immense priority down there for Photic and Zhuo. Doesn't seem like it's going to be the even trade here as the 3 Grubs had already been taken by BLG. Zhuo looking on bot side now, though. They might have the angle here with the chase down onto and he's going to get the heal out as well and be able to make it out of that potential sticky situation. The dragon does get started up by Aki.
At least bot lane control really good from NIP so far. Aki's going down towards this.
Level
Knight
6 for
does
Photic.
have push in mid lane. Photic does have level 6. This isn't the best fight for NIP though, I don't think. I think Knight can roam first.
Yeah, he definitely has move. He's actually looking onto Knight. It's unfair. Knight just gets locked down, and now he's able to dodge out. Flash is trade at the instant. It's going to be the kill trade by the legendary mid laners, but we go right back to the Fisticuffs region, and it's the Dragon Pit that we're looking at as Photic takes away the first dragon for NIP.
Yeah, it turns out neither mid lane is moving first because they're dying. Aki caught by the root might end up dying.
Oh, he's going for the play. What a turn. Aki showing his stuff, and Photic with the thumbs up.
Draw to the rescue, puts the Ignite down too, and BLG, this hasn't been the cleanest early game they would have wanted. It's better than game one, but giving up that dragon, giving up that kill there, especially with Wei going down, is not necessarily what you would have liked from that first series of play. Getting ourselves back out onto the map, NIP getting more from this early game than they potentially bargained for beyond this as well. Stepping in onto some of these matchups, again, this mid lane matchup has been back and forth now between game 1 and game 2. Knight gets hit by the arrow, chooses not to flash that one. Rookie doesn't have the soul and bound, but does have himself that fate steal. Knight just about enough mobility, of course, has the flash up while Rookie didn't, to make sure he can buy some space to that final round of cooldowns. At least makes it a 1-for-1.
I love that he was waiting for the Q3, because if he predicts, like if Rookie uses that early, he's down. But God, watching these two guys go at it, I love to see it represent. They've been going after each other's throats all series long.
And I think particularly in Spring as well, Knight and Rookie with the best and second best mid laners from LPL Spring 24. It was such an important matchup, and they played off a bunch of times. I love watching both of them play the Knight. I love playing the Ahri. I love both of them playing on their mages as well. When it's come around to the AD mid laners, I think that particularly Knight has taken a bit of a dip in performance, but he's shown some good games at least. But they are still the same players. And still seeing these names on my screen makes me happy. And seeing these players play off against it is always a very entertaining thing, and I'm glad we're seeing a whole bunch of action in this lane. It would be so boring if they just snooze fest the sidelines instead.
And honestly, it'd be a snooze fest if NIP didn't show some teeth here. They have taken that a win over BLG, so BLG at the risk of going down. Feels like for the first time in a little while, even though they've had a lot of 3-game series here for themselves. So expected to have this bounce back now, and maybe leaning towards the strength that Bin is going to be bringing on the Renekton. But on the other side of things that are looking strong for NIP, this bot lane is going to have a lot of say in how their go buttons are pulled.
Absolutely. Might have to focus on the top side though. Shanji at left lane has flash, has ult. No one's coming to help him right now. Rookie's roaming top side, but no teleport.
Way just going to lock him down. Does flash away just to make sure he can deny any exit from Shanji.
So that's going to be flash down from Way, an ult down from him, but I think that's a very worthwhile investment. Bin is now very far ahead of the matchup. We were worried about this in the early pick, saying, okay, NIP went for that Ashe first pick, and they gave up that Renekton, which they prioritized. I think that Shanji has been struggling in lane matchups individually against our top-tier top laners. The Renekton can be a bit of a stopgap because it's such a strong laning pick. But the problem is, we saw it the last game, Shanji was on the winning side of that matchup where the Renekton beats the Cassandra early most of the time. Now he's on the losing side, and he is now down 1,000 gold. The Eclipse has come through from Bin. Bin, I don't think he's going to take any prisoners in this matchup. Shanji needs to somehow find a way to impact the game before Bin kind of tears his throat out here.
That's just a looming threat on the horizon here that we have to think about as time goes on. Now, there is another episode of the Grubby Tubbies coming up. And we'll see.
Favorite show, Mazel.
It really is. It's one of my favorites. Something we see all the time, almost every day. Literally almost every day. Now, it is the move, though, by NIP to try to deny Grubageddon from BLG.
They get themselves that first one, so it's no, yep, you can keep your windows and your curtains open, folks. And Grubageddon has passed. The weather forecast has changed. So BLG move up their bot lane towards the top lane. Problem here is that they've left bot lane tower unattended. They get themselves a load of gold now onto the shared members of Wei, Alk, On. It's going to be sometimes quite important for the Senna, because Senna doesn't, because they're not farming as much, doesn't get as much gold. But you completely fine to get that from turret plates and get that where you can. Shanji's coming down to clear what they can, but it's still going to be first right over BLG. Maybe a kill.
That was questionable at best to step up to that, as he will be immediately punished by BLG.
Whereas on the other side, Bin realizes he shouldn't be under that turret. I believe he's taken away the Raptors from his own jungle, noticing that his top side is the weak side of the map. Bin, much better understanding of weak side. Back in spring, Bin had the best laning stats of all top laners in the LPL with no jungle attention. He was the lowest jungle attention, highest laning stats. Incredible stuff. I don't typically like to talk about stats because I don't think they always paint the picture which you want them to. Those ones very much do, though. Bin has learned how to play weak side so effectively well with his experience over time, and he's getting a huge amount of value in this game, even though he has the advantage. Now he has flash, has ult. He can walk up now because he's judged his approach correctly.
Zhuo does spot out Elkanon up here, so they do end up presenting a 3-man front to deny NIP, who did move Photic up this way to try to get some more gold under his belt.
But look at the difference in the approach to that weak side top lane.
Yeah.
You know, Shanji walks up to the bot lane turret dies, he dies. And he's now 0-3, down a whole load of gold. Bin, yeah, he doesn't get to clear out the wave on the first wave, but he gets himself the Raptors because he realizes his team might have lost them anyway. Walks up on the next crash wave because the next wave comes because he knows that he can clear out the wave in the next time around. And he had teammates there. He gets more value out of it, gets himself more gold from it, and he does things is he uses his lead responsibly, and that can be a rare skill set.
Yeah.
He could have just stayed in his strong side mentality, plans out on that mid lane, but yeah, the difference in top lane right there really on display.
Really nice to see Bin, who has been a key figure of the LPL in recency, but showing a little bit of a level up against Shanji here, where you know, Shanji might have had a little bit of a better of him in that game number 1. We do end up seeing, though, some of those item spikes going to be coming across as well. Leandry's has been completed already for both junglers, but we're going to be looking at the item spikes for the solo lanes. Clips already there for Bin, as we get 2v2s kicking off into a 3v2 in mid.
Yeah, and worth noting, Elk has got really good soul count right now. Oh, he has no
That's a little far there, bud, as they will end up getting the denial, and Elk goes down to Zhuo of all people.
Great punish by Aki. Aki, when he has that go button, looks like a very different jungler. Yes, Leandry's on the Maokai. It's not necessarily the tankiest engaged champion, but still gets a really good punish there as Elk oversteps. That's a good kill over to NIP. You don't get that much from it. It allows them to keep up vision in topside because now Zhuo can go up into topside jungle knowing that Elk can't fire the ult across, can't help that play. And Knight is also at a little bit of a salient up here. He's on his own and ahead in enemy lines as he pushes away from his tower.
Wondering now if they actually want to make a move on a Knight up here. He's by himself. Rookie was waiting for a potential combo there on the end, but now we go back to the map because they engage in mid lane trying to punish Photic, who has been a strong piece to NIP. He's going to get the outplay there, but does have this flash burn now to revisit.
Bin also popping the ult, waiting for something there. Photic only has the ult back up now. I wonder if On mistimed the ult cooldown of Photic, thinking that he'd get ulted on the turret, because then that would have been a danger. I don't think he had to flash out. I think he could have saved it and just use that W as well, but afraid maybe of some response. Does lose that summoner spell, but you will definitely take the flash off of Photic for the flash off of On. It's much easier to punish there, especially with the Ornn ult coming back up on a much low cooldown. And the arrow goes wide.
A little wide. Was hoping to maybe catch them with Aki collapsing there. Rift Herald had already been started up by Wei. 4-man strong are BLG, but the TP. Oh, this is the play. They might be able to do it. Bin just leveled up trying to get there, but the Fate Sealed going to go through already. Wei in some trouble. Shanji has found him. Now the TP's coming in from Bin. They've already gotten one, and Wei's gone down. Now the all-out coming through it. But Shanji, out of nowhere, he activates, and Kashanji has made himself present.
Yeah, I thought it was supposed to be Brawl that had the steel chair with a luchador skin, but turns out Shanji coming in from the top rope as well makes the difference. We were criticizing Shanji for his play on the weak side and in this matchup, but we know exactly what the Kassanse can do and what Kassanse can do in the hands of Shanji. Impacting those team fights is one of those things. Rookie gets onto the key targets, Shanji gets himself some gold as well, and suddenly now NIP get themselves Herald, they get themselves into a side lane, and what was a very BLG favored early game is now becoming much less so. Even with the arrow missing, they get themselves ample engaged right on top of the Zyra. Zyra doesn't have the ability to escape that. Flash is late, that's not great from Wei. Probably should have just flashed early in that one. And then you get Sanji onto the backline after that teleport as well, coming in from the unexpected angle. Gets himself into the play.
What a turnaround from NIP. It is not to say that Bin is not going to be terrifying throughout, but the fact they're showing some life in this one is huge. Now Rookie going in on the Knight does have a lot of damage now. Both of them going traded blow for blow. Knight almost going down in the end. Some sustain going to be helping Rookie keep up that push in the side lane.
Yeah, maybe don't Valkyrie while the Vione has Q3. There is that chance we're getting cancelled out. Knight getting shown the Blade of the Ruin King, and it's power spike right there. Do you see BLG potentially looking to push out mid lane again? They don't have themselves the Herald. They want to push in, and there's the engage coming in from NIP.
Photic, he cannot hit the combo yet. You do end up seeing the Stranglethorn used as a defensive tool to get BLG out of that mid play, but the Rookie starting to farm himself up Storm. And that's where we got to start talking about what these teams look like when we come to these big 5-on-5s, because NIP as a whole, we said it from the beginning, it's the Rookie show here, and that 3-item spike is the saving grace for him. Still a while to go.
Yeah, I think particularly with the Yone having a whole bunch of targets he can hit, he wants to hit anyone but the Ornn. As long as you hit everyone else, that's completely fine. And having the Maokai ult to corral people together, because they want to huddle behind one person tanking one of those Nature's Grasp roots. Oh, Photic has the cleanse, has to blow it.
Does end up getting the roots too. Oh, and Rookie, he tries to go in, but gets obliterated by Knight, and there's some payback for ya.
Yeah, also the extra burst damage, popping the Brettle with the grasping roots, gets the extra damage onto Photic, who was left alone wave clearing. In NIP, we were talking about how they could look towards the team fights. Well, it doesn't help if you're dying like that before the team fights can come through. Bin does have his dominance, might be forced to use it. Doesn't have to right here, though. BLG get a quick pick, and suddenly we're talking about NIP coming back into the game. Might be much harder now, losing this many turrets.
Yeah, that door is getting very, very close to closing, as BLG have turned up the heat in this one, and a much more expected presence from them in this game number 2.
So, Photic, did he just get caught up by a center W? Yeah, so what Elk does there is I think he ends up hiding the W with his Q animation. He ends up hiding that one.
That skin is dirty, I'm just going to say.
That Brettle prop also ends up getting put through by the Zyra E, and he hard sees who will proc that extra burst damage. Photic just completely blown out the water because he just didn't see the W behind the Q.
That set of skin is dirty, man. Oh my god. They look like the same ability. Anyways, that is the dragon going to be end up taken by NIP, so they'll get the second dragon for themselves on their way to a Mountain Soul. That's going to be something to stand on.
Yeah, no, it's not bad. That's definitely something you can work with. Maybe now you can play towards Yone in the side lane and wait for that 2-item to 3-item spike as well, which you've highlighted going into this, because Rookie's going to get himself towards a shield bow, and then he'll look towards maybe something like an Infinity Edge after that point. I think he has to go for the full damage build on the Yone this game. Going for the tanky build is going to leave his team with very lacking damage. Herald now put towards the bot side. If they can get in a turret into Rookie, that'd be great. It's not going to kill nearly the whole turret, though. Put down Bin. He pulls out that dominance just to make sure that he can clear through that and make sure that the inner turret survives. I think Bin understood that the importance of not giving Rookie over that tower gold. 700 gold or something like that, but they just keep pulling the ultimate.
Yeah.
They really want to take this in a turret.
Another little late arrow from Photic. It's fine. It's fine. Only one needs to hit. And another turret does end up going down. They will be trading it, though, for BLG's side lane turret in the top side. So at least it is the 1-for-1 in that regard,
okay.
and it's going to be BLG continuing their lead.
Yeah, that's okay at least, because Bin delays enough that there's no ability for like Rookie to take in a turret back off and then teleport top lane if BLG wanted to cross map there. It delays the play enough that they can take the turret. Now suddenly you have 2 items coming up for Knight soon. You're going to have Elk with a decent amount of gold too. Knight in fact does get us off that Muramana. Knight has the most gold in the game, which is kind of terrifying. Knight was very far behind in that last game, but the Corki is going to have a great time standing behind the Ornn, getting the extra heals and shield from the center as well. Unless he gets nailed by the Yone, I think Knight is very free to teamfight in this game.
We are getting second items completed aplenty for both sides, especially NIP, so maybe feeling a little bit more confident. There is a lot of vision being played around by BLG right now, spotting out the move from base by NIP. So moving into this one, though, it is all about mid lane prio here.
I think particularly when you've got such big engage tools, you don't want to be heading into Fog of War, because those W's come out of Fog of War. You have the Ornn coming out of Fog of War. And of course, on the other side, there's the chance of Yone hopping over a wall, and Rookie is probably the best player in the world at playing around Fog of War himself at an individual level. But look at this. This is exactly what we're talking about. You push out mid, you force NIP to come through the jungle instead of coming through mid lane. It makes the game so much harder. You have a Zyra on the other side. They're standing there to get the passive spawns on the Baron. You just stand there to make sure there are seeds. If this is going to go down long enough, there will be enough plans to rush this Baron. And as it stands, NIP, they don't have the best angles to go towards this. Rookie just pushed out top lane, but there might be a fight coming.
On, maybe looking for the choke point fight here. Nature's Grasp going to come across. This is a front-to-back fight for NIP. Rookie has an angle. Stranglethorn going to be dodged out of there in the end. On going to use the dodge out the other way to make sure he gets a little bit of distance separation from NIP, but you see a little bit of the fight that both these teams give.
Yes, for clarity, folks, On did that to get a little bit further away. He knows there's no killer coming down. If he ults forwards, he gets a mini dash towards the enemy team while he's on about 400 HP.
But it looks funny, Nymeara.
It looks pretty bad. That I'm going to equivocate that to like Sion ulting backwards saying "cowards" as he runs away from the play. I'll give him a pass for this one. Would like to see those ults be more impactful in the future, but this all came about because NIP have been starved out of vision. They've been starved out of this top side of the map. Rookie pushing out that top lane can give NIP some options, but they'd love to be able to win this mid prize. They can push in through this wider brush into the top lane or bot lane river, depending on which objective they're fighting around. BLG just keeping NIP back in much the same way that they were kept back in that first game.
And just kind of grounding us a little bit. I'm just going to say, this is a pleasant surprise from NIP. We come into the day and you're like, oh, this is going to be like a 45-minute series in totality for BLG. But it is seriously a step up for NIP. And even if they are behind here, they are still in a moment's breath away from taking back that initial, at least, tempo for themselves.
Yeah.
Now, we are looking at a setup to regain some of that vision priority for NIP around top.
Yeah, and of course Rookie is really benefiting from just getting a load of side lane farm. Knight does have the most gold in the game. Knight is still very strong, but Rookie getting gold is very important for NIP as a team comp because Rookie can potentially try and one-shot the backline if he gets a good angle. One thing which will stop that, Wei has flash. Wei has also gone towards Zhonya's as a second item. He's going towards the full Zhonya second item too. He hasn't just stopped off on that C because he wants to go towards the full Zhonya's. He's not going towards a Rylai second. I will say, I think this is something I want to see more out of stuff like the Brand and the Zyra, because I think that it just means that the backline access like that Yone, which could potentially flip the game in the enemy team's favor, becomes a lot harder to land. While the Rylai's Leandri's is an incredible core spike, you need to be safe enough to use it. You have to pass that minimum threshold first. If you're dying, you don't get to use any of the items. So keep something safe. Sometimes the defensive item, it's a bit of a consolation, but you can do that all the same. We're fighting over this mid-prio. Again, Dragon spawning soon.
I will say, Photic has not been Robin Hood this game.
Nope.
But you only got to hit one when it matters most. So we'll keep an eye out on if Photic can actually hit an arrow here. But there's been a lot of wide enchanted crystal arrows. The frequency is going to be nice, though, with that minute cooldown or so. But Dragon is up. Would be a soul point for NIP. BLG want to deny that.
Sucks because Photic was so on point with the skill shots on the Ziggs. He's not made those game-changing arrows. He could have forced cleanses. No cleanse to be forced on Elk right now. Could have changed everything. It's hard to go through the Ornn, I understand that, but not having that for the Dragon setup kind of sucks. BLG first into the river again. They have a lot of damage. And NIP don't have great engage combo. If that arrow is down, particularly if BLG are split up, it feels like the Maokai can lose value trying to go into the river. They do have the Yone, they do have the Maokai. It is something, but as it stands right now, they're not in the best position to use that engage in this kind of map state.
Taking a look at the entrances right now. Bin on the side looking for a pincer over. Shanji, he's going to be the man that needs to mark him. We're looking at mid lane right now for the push. The Dragon is going to end up resetting here as NIP move down to this choke point. This is perfect for BLG. If they can line it up, On is just waiting to pull the trigger.
Yeah, you can see Al getting the double taps, getting good damage down, getting poked down. NIP, they can't get into the damn river to get this Dragon.
They go on to Bin. They didn't need to. The Bin flash over the wall to get him to safety now as Aki, he's stepping up. Aki, when you need him most, he shines like a light. But now he is the focus, and he is immediately turned back on by BLG. They will get the soul point for NIP, though, and that's huge.
Yeah, it's going to be soul point for NIP, but they might give up the Baron, and that is a problem. No ults except Shanji's now for NIP. They can't find themselves an easy engage, and when you've got the Zyra and the double AD carry, all NIP can really do is try and, I don't know, push out mid lane. I don't think they can even fight this.
They will be having a little bit of poke. Rookie doesn't have many tools, does self-deflect. Look at the damage the Baron is doing. Starting to get a little low for BLG. Elk not using his sustain on the team so far. They are going to turn back onto the Baron. The engage comes through for NIP. It will end up going over to BLG, but Shanji has now gone all out on the way. He's by himself, though, and Elk will not be countered on by NIP as well. So, NIP come to the task, but they leave with nothing.
Yeah, BLG, they take that one kill onto Aki. Yes, a great smite still. Wei ends up smiting early. Aki gets that one, but they lose the Baron to NIP. And BLG, now they can start to turn on the afterburners. Wei, in fact, actually feels so confident himself. He goes towards a death cap, second item. Hasn't even had to use that Seekers yet. Goes straight back onto the map. Next time he turns up to a plate, maybe that can end the game. Going to the side lane, Rookie does have flash, does have ult. BLG looking to push out the entire map and lock NIP across that river.
And we're so close to the Rookie 3-item spike. Is going to be going for that little bit of a tanky nature here, but you can see how difficult it can be for NIP to get in these fights.
Yeah, it's a short range arrow, so it's not the longest amount of CC, and there's so many ults. There's 3, 4 ults thrown out. Aki's using ults to Dragon, of course, not relevant there. He gets a good smite, but then flashes backwards, and the Ornn ult's still available. They've used so much onto Bin, rather, and they get nothing for it. Bin escapes with that one and ends up getting himself over the wall. NIP tried to cheat their way out of not being able to get into the river, but then they don't have any of those ults here to test this Baron. You know, Shanji, the threat is he can flash in and bring Wei over a wall, but the problem is there's still no one that can secure that Baron all the same. He goes towards withdraw and they get themselves into the pit, but then Shanji really doesn't have that much follow-up. Rookie can't get that much damage down. It's a clean Baron take from BLG.
And it's a really good turn on the Baron to finish it off. Now we go back to BLG turning on to NIP as they use this siege to take an outer turret in bot side and looking at an inhib turret in mid lane from Bin. So this snowball just came from hell, and BLG are knocking on the door to go to game 3.
I think the ice is melting a little bit as the snowball from NIP that they tried to build up in parts in this early game.
Oh, trying to make the play on the way and on. Is it going to be enough? He goes golden, though. He's buying so much time. Photic, he needs to get some damage down, but it's truly Rookie who's going to make the difference. He's stepping up. He's got one. He's locked down now, though. He can't even move. The man was in 2 souls at once, and both of them just got killed as BLG, ruthless as ever, step into the face of NIP and say, you will not easily fell us.
BLG got shut out of that first game. Honestly, it was an embarrassment to them, but they are willing to slap back and ready to slap back against NIP. There is another teleport coming in this time from Shanji.
Way.
Not really sure what he can do about this. Knight is still very strong.
Oh, he wants the all-out combo, but Elk is going to make it away with the flash. Now, Knight still having his flash available. On might be the focus here, but it is Knight putting down the poke on the end of it to get them out.
So BLG, heist completed, 2 inhibs, they get themselves out as well, and it's now all of the globals down from NIP. They use the teleport on Rookie, they use the teleport on Shanji. They don't get a huge amount for it. Dragon spawning in a minute, that would be Mountain Soul for NIP. think there's a brief problem there, though, is that if they go towards that dragon, they might just die. And while even if they get that dragon, pretty sure they just lose the game if they lose the fight as well. So that's going to be a problem in the next minute for them to contend with. Bit of a split fight here as both enemies went down. Wave got like a huge amount of damage. Now, Zyra doesn't have great AP ratios on her. They were changed around a little bit to have a bit more on the plants as opposed to base damage, but still, the death cap really hurts when you hit your abilities. And of course, he's got the E maxed out at this point. He's gone to the E max second, which you don't always see from Zyra. It means that Rookie is lifted in place for such a long time. This has been rooted down that he does go down very, very scary amount of damage there coming from BLG to keep him locked up and not impacting that fight.
I just can't believe that he just had to sit there and watch. Like he got the 2 cleanups and then just has to watch as that bar never goes down on the CC progress. And now we go right back onto the map because there's another dragon coming up. This would be a soul for NIP.
NIP. Can they get that soul, though, without dying? If they do that, that's when it kind of works out. But they can't die for this dragon too heavily. They can give up a dragon. They can maybe turtle out a little bit more. If they're going towards this approach, they need to be damn sure they can win the fight.
There is no TP wards in the base of NIP, so they can't have a little bit of their own medicine thrown back at them just yet. But BLG with Bin looking around the side, looking for a flank. Here comes the engage from On. He doesn't end up getting the second cast there now. Enchanted Crystal does hit on the front line, but look at Bin. He is massive. Rookie wants to take him down, though. The Stranglethorn's going to buy him so much time here, too. And now they're taking a front to back here for themselves. BLG, they'll lose Bin. Rookie goes back in and try to get the fight off. He's taking a 1v2 here, but he will sacrifice his life as BLG will crash this bottom lane.
That's a 1 for 2 in the grand fight. No dragon taken. BLG, if they don't think they can end the game, they can just go and take that. And NIP, they do just about live with enough members for it to not be game ending, but it's not getting any better for them. They go back to kind of corral the minions in their base and make sure that they are not getting towards their Nexus towers. They can pull them away from the tower there, and they'll reset towards that top side, because the problem now is that, of course, Dragon's gone down. Baron's up in a minute. The fights don't stop, and BLG are only getting stronger. They get themselves an extra kill out of that. They get themselves another Dragon out of it. This is not getting easier for NIP. On somehow doesn't get his... Oh, he got interrupted by Shanji on the W. I'm surprised that didn't go through, but not the best combo from On. On doesn't manage to get himself the big CC he wanted, but it's enough. Bin is very powerful here on the Renekton too. He's had himself a huge lead, and while he does go down, he does enough work in the late game to just buy up space in that front line and allow the carries of BLG to walk out.
And you can see what this 3-item spike for Rookie brings, but when you're 1v4 in the end there, I don't think it's going to matter that much. And we do end up seeing NIP stopped in their tracks in that dragon stacking, and now we have a Baron being started up on spawn by BLG.
And they've got themselves the passive spawns from Zyra. They have the Zyra ultimate to increase the duration and the HP of them as well. You can just wait for his W cooldown to come through, and then he'll be ready to go. You can wait for another couple of passive spawns as well. Thing is, you do still have that Ashe arrow, you still have Rookie with that ultimate, so you don't necessarily want to be stuck in the pit, so BLG not necessarily rushing towards that Baron while all the engage tools from NIP are available.
And just get the setup there, knowing that they can pull the trigger anytime they want. NIP will be full force out in this mid lane. You have to remember, though, they have the super minions to deal with in the bottom lane, which will be crashing. So BLG, they start the Baron. They get the Enchanted Crystal Arrow. I don't know if they can follow it up anymore, though. Wei looking to pull off of the Baron, so BLG, they will not end up sticking the landing here, but they realize they have that timer in the bot lane that NIP cannot deal with right now. Finally, they're sending Rookie, so this would be a 4v5. There is a TP for Rookie available.
Yeah, he can get into the fight. Wei used his ult already to use those plants on the Baron, but they're now getting chased down.
They're just going forward. BLG just want to fight. There is Rookie having cleared that side lane. Still going to be holding there, as all NIP want to do is buy time.
Yeah, they do. And particularly the damage coming through from Photic there. Really chunked that bin with just a couple of autos. You can see the damage that the Ashe can do. BLG can't necessarily disrespect NIP despite the gold lead and despite their position on the map. Rookie has pushed out that wave more than well enough, so it won't be threatening their base for a while now. BLG with those passive seed spawns gone, used up on the Baron, and then also the ult used too. Means that BLG's Baron rush potential has definitely gone down. It's still there, he's still got the Zyra, so NIP can't leave this alone for forever. Using the saplings right now to be pseudo wards, and an arrow lands onto not the best target.
Not going to be followed up on either, as Baron pulled off of NIP. Just have to continuously poke around this one, but it is that 4-item spike for Knight and is raining in so much damage. We also have 3.5 items for Bin, 3 items for Wade. That is why they feel so confident to move out here, because of this massive lead they have on the map.
Yeah, BLG also. Those Ornn items giving real value. Now, typically, I'm not a big fan of Deathcap and Zara. Her AP ratios aren't fantastic, but Deathcap as an Ornn item upgrade is really nice because it just gives you AP. You don't waste it on HP and stuff like that if you don't care for it. So wait, big amount of damage coming through from the Rabadon's Death Crown. Built up by On. He has also got himself Spellbook Smite as well for helping in those objective secures. BLG have kind of struggled to pull the trigger again. They don't around the objectives or elsewhere. It does feel like NIP have been able to stall out a little bit, get themselves towards a point where they could potentially fight towards that Mountain Soul, unless a big trigger pull comes in.
Oh, they got the Enchanted Crystal Arrow onto Elk. He will end up burning the Cleanse there. So, couple ultimates used by the side of NIP, 3 of them to be exact, and now they do feel a lot worse to try to step up here. And now it's Photic who gets caught by On, and they're just dogpiling him. Stranglethorns onto the choke point, and now here comes that engage we were waiting for, and it's like an avalanche onto NIP. That's gonna be instant point blank there by Bin. Rookie trying to get the wave out as best as possible, but BLG, you're pushing down mid lane.
Rookie tries to do a Marin, teleport to the wave and kill it, but he will not be able to do so. Another teleport comes in. Too many ults were thrown out. Too many ults were wasted, and NIP will be brought to a third game.
That single minion making the difference with Ben TPing to it to save its life. Now back on the Nexus turrets. Here's Rookie Shanji's best attempt at a defense. And we told you that BLG, they haven't had a clean series. It's been 3 games every time since that clean victory over LGD. And they will bring us to 3 once again as they will stop NIP in their tracks.
BLG, knocked around a little bit in game 1. That was not a good game for them, and NIP punished their mistakes very, very well and then took that lead and ran with it. This time, it wasn't even the cleanest game from BLG this time. They stalled out a little bit. They made another mistake here or there, but they are still BLG. They still have the carries to make the big plays like this, and BLG will bring us to a third game.
I love to see it from BLG. Obviously, some question marks. What the hell happened in game number 1? But it was a lot of really good play from NIP, and I think that maybe was up to par here this time around for BLG's own play in game number 2. Now, we have to see what game 3 has in store after a short little break. We'll see you there.